turn this on. And I'll introduce myself first for the benefit of the recording. So,
Great.
good afternoon.
Hello.
This is Tamar Carroll, and I'm here at RIT on May 20th, 2023. And as part of the Lambda reunion, we are conducting brief oral history interviews with Lambda members. And who am I speaking with today?
I'm Lynn Kinsman.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
Can you tell me what your job was at Kodak when you became involved with Lambda?
Sure. I worked at Eastman Kodak Company from '87 to 2013 in IT, so a back office function of our company. And after that, I moved to Kodak Alaris and just recently left there.
Okay. And how did you get involved with the Lambda network?
I was a member sometimes, but also a participant in some of their offerings to learn to be a better ally. And there was a lot of crossover between the Lambda leadership and some of the Women's Forum leadership. I was very involved in the Women's Forum network, and so some of the same people were involved. And what I remember most is participating in some of the Lambda events that they offered and training.
Great. Can you tell me about those?
Yeah, the one I remember the most is the Can We Talk format, which I remember at the time. I don't remember what year it was. The history's all mushed in my mind, but I remember it being kind of, for me, really new, and having a setting where you could talk about these issues and hear people's stories firsthand, and then share how you felt about what you heard. To me, that was revolutionary and really game-changing for me. In the workplace, to have that offered took advantage of going.
Do you remember any of the stories you heard at it?
Not specifically. It's just the overall memory of it being offered and taking part, but I don't remember any of the specifics. But I think it prepared me for later in life as a parent, being a parent of 2 transgender children. Youth coming out as teenagers. So I think it added to my understanding of some first-hand stories people gave, and that having the setting being in the workplace gave the context for how people are affected in the workplace when they're part of the LGBTQ community. It just gave me that much more background and prepared me to help support my kids as they came out.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow. Is there anything else you want us to know about Lambda?
Well, I've learned a lot today, I gotta say. I'm really glad I came to this reunion. The Women's Forum was active, but I think that this was even more groundbreaking, what Lambda was doing at that time, to really formulate the very first concepts of what a corporation should do for inclusion in this space. I think the women's movement had started a lot earlier, and so when the Women's Network started, I don't know, I can't speak firsthand on their early days, but it doesn't sound like it was as groundbreaking or as really revolutionarily new as what I heard today in the presentation, where I'm really even more proud of Kodak and what this group did to really formulate from the ground up what the company's role would be in supporting their LGBTQ workers and their front-facing to the public of how they're going to basically, as a company, come out as a supporter. I've been really inspired by what I heard today.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Was participating in the Women's Forum helpful for you?
Oh, definitely. They offered a wide-ranging types of career support things. They had a mentor program and many workshops on, career advancement and how to write a resume or just how to advance in your career. And so those were all really useful things. And they had awards for outstanding women in the company, and then just being a leader in the group. I learned a lot about leadership and being on a board, and so all that was really good learning for me during my career there.
Yeah, that's great. I might reach out to you at some point to hear more about the Women's Forum, if
I
that's
would.
okay.
I was going to ask you about that, wondering
Yeah.
if this type of project. I'm also interested in archives and preservation of history as looking at my career pivot right now.
Yeah.
And so this idea of the fact that Lambda has made such an effort to preserve this and working with RIT, I'm amazed and happy to see that they're doing this. I know Women's Forum has a lot of history, videos, pictures, photo albums, awards, everything. I don't know what happened to all of that. And I wonder whether it's worth spending some time to find out and preserve it.
Yeah, absolutely it
Yeah.
is. And I'd be happy to work with you if you're able to find
Yeah.
it. I know Dan Sapper just took records with him when he left because he felt like he was the last one. So it might be something similar with the Women's Forum, where maybe whoever was like the last president might have.
I think I know the name of that person, but I don't know if I know how to get a hold of them.
Yeah.
I had already spun off to Kodak Alaris. The
Yeah.
Women's Forum survived maybe 2 more years after that, so I wasn't involved in the shutdown, but it really does make me wonder what was done, I know they had a whole room of records down in the basement at Kodak office at one point in time, so.
Wow. Yeah, that would be great to dig into that.
All right, I'll be in
Yeah.
touch if I can find anybody who
I'll
knows.
give you my card.
Oh, great.
Thanks, Lynn.
Yeah, thank you for doing this oral history too.
You're very welcome.